All right, so I just logged into the CRM in the app today. This stuff is sick. That was a little live edit. And dude, he was so fast, he logged me into this thing in like milliseconds. It's got so many tools that 10 years ago, if these tools would have been available, I already would have been doing millions of dollars a year, fast. But now all this stuff is available to us and it moves at lightning speed. So whether you're doing content, like I do, like video content, or doing newsletters, or emails, or SMS messaging, or all of that, it can all be connected into workflows. And it's, you guys, we can move at lightning speed. And like he was saying, by 2027, regardless of whether it's saturated or not, if you're the elite person and you're the choice in the category, doesn't matter how saturated it is, you're gonna get the elite people. Those are the people we want anyway. We want the best of the best, the number one people. I want to work with all the best speakers, all the best conferences, all the biggest names in the industry. That's who we work with. That's who I target. And that's why I close those people. And so people like Ian are going to help you attract that with your marketing. So let's bring him to the stage.
All right. Hey, I'm Ian McDonald. Nice to see you all. I'm really excited to be up here and always a bit nervous too. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to power up my PC here. And what I'm going to be going over with you guys is, one, just my experience getting into how I became like an app developer over the last year and a half without any experience using AI, to how I got connected with AI for Business and have met some of you awesome people here, and a bit about how I got into building the app that a lot of us here use. If you raise your hand, that would be sweet. How many people here have, out of those, have like deployed an app and have users on it? Okay, that's awesome. My goal by the end of this is to hopefully give you a bit of direction on how you could do that, and yeah, just to empower you through my experience that you can also do it as well. Because again, like I had no experience with this. So I put my presentation is actually an app. It's a web app that I built. It's using Next.js, and this little lanyard was something that I just really was excited about. So I got the AI for Business. It's using 3D, and yeah, you can make cool 3D stuff. That's something that you can even make games or whatever. So I'm originally from Florida, actually, from Pensacola, upper northwest part of the state. And at 19, I moved to Boulder, Colorado, where I spent the last 11 years of my life. And now I live back in Pensacola. And I'm really excited to be back here in Florida. It's nice to be home, but damn, it's so hot. Oh my God. All right, so yeah, I'm from here. My history in the workforce is over the last like 10 years, I've worked in healthcare, in like addiction recovery treatment, and I sort of saw myself doing that for the rest of my life. And over the last like 3 years, towards the end of me doing that, I was starting to really want to do something different, but I felt kind of trapped. And like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. And there was this awesome technology that came out around the time of COVID with ChatGPT, and around that time I was interested in doing like a coding boot camp. Those were like $15,000 at the time. But ChatGPT came out and I was like, this is probably the future of programming, so why don't I just save my money and see where this actually ends up? And how I got into it was the last, like 2023, 2024, my dad, who lived in Pensacola, he got diagnosed with cancer. And I spent the last like 2 years going back and forth between Boulder and Pensacola and like trying to maintain a job and just feeling like exhausted essentially with life. And my dad did pass December of 2024. And I felt like it was, if any opportunity, like that was my opportunity to make a change and to do something, at least give myself a shot, you know, doing something that I wanted to do and that I was passionate about. And the initial idea was to create an AI agency something like that. There was tons of YouTube videos that I was getting ideas from. And I didn't really have a plan. I just started a company, and I was like, I'm just going to see what I can do. And I really found a passion for building applications. I had a roommate that I was building an app for, and I built other little apps here and there. I ran totally out of money, and I had to go back to work with my roommate at the time. But I kept doing it. Like, even though I was working that job, I stayed up super late night and worked on my projects. And a big thing of what I like to do is, like I mentioned, like there's a ton of people online that, like Brian and Francis as well, like give out this awesome free information. And one was super inspiring for me. And that's what I wanted to do, is like what I was learning, I wanted to show people along the way. Because like it's been mentioned here, maybe I'm not the expert with years and years of experience, but I do have some experience that person behind me I can offer. And it helps them, and it helps me to teach. So I was making these videos, and I was posting them to the AI for Business Facebook group, and they kept getting taken down. And I would message, and they would get brought back up occasionally. Sometimes they didn't. But one time I did. I reached out to Brian. This was probably about August of last year, and I didn't know Brian at all. I hadn't been to any of the online seminars or anything. But I was like, hey man, can you stop taking my videos down? I don't think that there's anything wrong with these. And he took a chance and watched my videos. And he's like, wow, these are really cool. And from that was sort of like how I got involved with AI for Business, was through Facebook, of all places. Yeah. So there's a funny story to that I'll tell you later. But yeah, that was really like my success, was I knew what I was doing was cool, but I didn't necessarily like have anybody else telling me like that was cool. And to have that one person in Brian being like, I see you and I see what you're doing is valuable, meant the world of difference. Because I knew it, I felt it, but for the longest time I was like, can somebody recognize me? And he did. And I really appreciate him, and I really appreciate the AI for Business team and everybody here who's like given me this opportunity, and all of you. And so I want to thank you all as well. Yeah, I've met some awesome people. Last March, I was invited to Jacksonville to speak, and that was my very first time doing anything like this. This is my second time doing anything like this. And it's crazy. And again, I'm just like, how the hell did I end up here? And it just has felt like fate in a way. So that's how I got up here. And I truly believe, like, if I could do it, that you guys can too. One of the biggest things for me, that's me up here on this stage. I had ChatGPT make that image. Yeah. So I built a ton of apps, and I'm gonna have a little bit of video issue here potentially, but I've made a ton of apps over the years, or over the year and a half that I've been building stuff. Stuff from like a calculator to lead magnets to recently I've been doing a 30-day app building challenge where I was just like, what can I build? And things just come up along the way when you're like receptive to it. And there's tons of use cases for app building just like on the spot like that. For example, my stepmom, she recently was prescribed a bunch of medication, and I just became aware of like, wow, you're on a ton of meds. This is way more than like I can organize. So I built her an app that she could track her meds way easier. So you can also make apps for like practical ideas, and I got a ton of responses from that where it's like, wow, that's really cool. So you never know like what little issue or pain point you have could be somebody else's pain point. So I think that is a valuable resource that we have, is just like what tool, what pain are you getting that you could solve with an app. So as you guys know, the AI for Business app, back around November of 2024, I had started building just like a single platform, and it looks a bit different from how it looks now. I didn't log in here, but it doesn't matter so much. I started building this platform where Brian was like, it'd be cool if we could make an app that does text and image generation, and maybe it can do web search and stuff like that. And so, like with any challenge, I knew I could do it. And so I did. I built the first version, and in January of 2025, just a few months ago, I came out here and I met with Brian and Francis for the first time, and they were like, yeah, let's get you on the team, let's get you involved. And so that's where I've took that app that I started building and skinned it and am working on it to be like the AI for Business app for you guys. And it's been an awesome experience. I think there's been quite a few improvements since the last time I saw you guys on stage, where back in March, it was still, again, mostly like AI text. It was images. We had just added in LoRa's to the app. And now here we are 6 months into the app, and we have video generation now. We have the super prompts. We have a new profile thing where you can have a natural conversation with AI. And from that, it gains the context of your actual voice. So you heard Dolmar and Keisha talk about how important your brand voice is. And this is a tool to help you really capture that using AI. So I wanted to point out like the 5 keys to the success that I've had is to, 1, believe in yourself. Again, like I'd mentioned earlier, I just knew what I was doing was going to work. And I sort of set aside that doubt entirely, and that I wouldn't be able to make this work. And I just believed in myself. I knew that I could do it. And along the way, I met people that believed in me. I build publicly because that helps me like gain an audience, and it also helps other people by seeing like what they could do, potentially getting a tool or resource that they could use for themselves. So whatever it is, like it's been mentioned so much before, I'd never done social media content. I was so uncomfortable being on the camera pointed at my face, and I still am. And this is even like way scarier than that. But I've gotten over that hump. As it's been mentioned, the more practice you get in it, the better, just more comfortable you get. So whatever you're doing, do it publicly, and find people who believe in you. Don't let failure define you. I think one of the things I've come up against a whole lot in this experience with building is tons and tons of errors, tons and tons of roadblocks, tons and tons of like the most broke I'd ever been in my life. But that belief in myself held steady. And if I would have given up throughout any of these challenges that I faced, I wouldn't be up here on this stage. So even though you may face, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Even though you might come up against the AI is not giving you the response that you wanted, or the image doesn't look right, I have had so many challenges with apps not working properly. Just try again a little bit in a different way, maybe prompting a little bit differently, and keep it up. And creativity finds a way. I think that now with AI, I haven't necessarily found anything that when I had the idea of it, I couldn't build in some capacity. So whatever it is, whether it's an app or your business, like you have an expert in your pocket in every single industry, and your creativity can flourish with AI. So you guys have heard about vibe coding. That's actually a newer term, and when I started, that was not, well, there was no word for it. This is like a new social media term that's come up. So I'm a vibe coder, I guess you could say. I use AI to help me create apps, but I prefer the term cowboy coding or cowboy coder. So that's what I do. And essentially what that is I use AI to build out ideas, first to like brainstorm ideas. Then there are tools out there, and Brian showed you on Friday, like Lovable, where you can take those concepts, write it into a text input, and hit start, and it will generate a version of that for you. I like to start in actually like an artifact in Claude's platform, where it's more just giving you a visual representation of the app. And then I like to get sort of the flow of how the user might experience the app, and then take that and build upon it. And Replit is awesome as well. I've been using Replit since I started this journey, and they've been great. I think, yeah, they're totally a worthwhile platform to check out. So I wanted to go over a couple of the things that I wish I knew, hard lessons that I learned from building with AI. So if you are going to build out an application, I think just as important or almost as important as the app itself is to consider the support that you have built into your program. So we have Felicia, who's an amazing part of the team, and it just was not a thing that I saw whenever we were building out AI for Business app. But there's been bugs, and users needed questions answered, and I built in tools to the app so on the backside, people can solve issues much quicker than if I was going in to fix things in the code. And then just having like that support person has been huge. Whether it's myself or her or somebody else or you guys or somebody else you're hiring for that, support is super important. Security first. As I've been building, I've been learning about security, and there's a ton to know about that. So do your research. When building, you don't want to expose any secrets. You want to use reliable companies to manage your data. For ours, we use Firebase, which is Google's platform. And built into those programs, there's multiple additional layers that you can add on top of security. And we've gone and done that and built that into the app. Don't overcomplicate things. I come across a lot of times like the initial idea is so big, and to try to boil that down to where can I start with this? Because AI does tend to get confused if you give it too much context. So it'll go off and try to build that page, this page, some sort of connection to, let's say, like a social media platform like Facebook, and really to just start from the start, like the landing page, and then go from there and build out. GitHub was something that I had no clue about, and it's been essential and necessary. Like, you can't necessarily develop without it, especially if you're working with a team. And that's for version control, so that, yeah, like if somebody doesn't update, that person doesn't update, there's like one centralized place where our code is hosted. And then user roles, you've heard of like an admin or a user or a super admin, so you want to make sure that users don't have access to the admin stuff, and super admin doesn't have or has all of the information for all of that. So user roles was also something that I wasn't aware of. And then keeping AI context. So over the last year and a half, and really over the last like 7 months, as these agentic platforms like Replit and Lovable have come out, you'll start to see the AI hallucinate after a certain point in time, where it starts getting in just like a loop of error after error after error, and there's nothing that you could necessarily prompt it to do to resolve the issue unless you started a new chat or you go in there manually and repair it yourself. So one cool thing that people have discovered is if you're building and you get to a state where like, okay, this page is exactly where I want it to be, tell the AI to update a README document. And as you go into a new chat, your new AI can read the README document and have the context so that it's not lost, or you have to re-explain it to this new one. So The money is certainly flowing in this industry. I'm super proud of this. It took me way too long to make it, but AI investment has exploded, $13.8 billion right now invested since 2024. GitHub Copilot is $2 billion annual revenue. And the AI coding tools like Lovable and Replit is projected to make $30.1 billion. So huge. And that sort of leads me to, I know Brian did this with you guys on Monday. I wanted to see if you guys wanted to do this again, where we build an app together. Yeah? Who here has just had the desire or thought of like, oh, that would be a great app? Yeah? Yeah. In those moments, I just write them down in my notes. So, because now you can actually build those. So we had a medical reminder app using voice, central ideas for nonprofit organization. We had where is my stuff? And we had a gamified platform for AI development. I'm going to say courses, and we'll see how it does. Community, okay. So we're going to build an MVP here real quick, and then I'm going to hop off the stage. And yeah, out of these, is there anyone that stands out? Can we hear like maybe some cheers from the crowd of which one you would like to see? All of them, okay. Let's start with the medication one. Let's just hear you clap, if that's what you'd like to see.
All right, come on, give him some love. Give it up for Ian. Ian's in the building.
How about where is my stuff? Okay. The nonprofit organization centralized. Okay. And the gamified Peloton-like app development course. Okay, I'm kind of hearing a tie between where's my stuff and the medical reminder app. Okay. I'll see if I have time to do them both. I'm going to start with the medical reminder one, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, thank you so much. So actually what I had is there's AI on the background. Whenever I wrote one of these out, there's a prompt that's being generated that I can actually give directly to the AI agent to start building the app. So we have the medical reminder note here. Absolutely. I'm going to click on it. Let's see if it works. It may or may not. That's okay if not. Yes, Replit. It is its own separate platform. So over here, I'm going to use a prompt here. Help me to generate a prompt for an AI agent that build a medication and medical issue reminder for doctors. This is the AI for Business app. I'm just going to get a prompt to give to the AI agent. I'm just in the basic. There's no prompt behind this necessarily. It's just general use. All right, so we'll take this. I'll copy it here.
Ian, can you blow up your screen a little bit?
Blow it up?
Yeah, zoom it up.
Zoom it? Oh. Okay. Like that. So since it was like a huge block of text, it kind of just added it in as a file. I'm going to give it additionally just that prompt here. So help me generate help me generate an app for an AI agent for an AI platform that build a medical issue reminder for doctors and families. One of the cool things about Replit is I can click this little pencil here, and it will just improve my prompt before it starts to build. So here it goes. It actually builds it out. We'll start the chat. Can folks see okay? No? Okay. So the agent is essentially asking the user, based on your prompt, here's what I'm going to create: a web-based AI-powered medical issue reminder platform designed for both doctors and family members to track patient care and medication schedules. Core features are to add and manage medication schedules with dosage, timing, and patient information, create medical appointment and follow-up reminders, send notifications for upcoming medication and medical tasks, share access across dashboards for doctors and family members to coordinate patient care, visual references inspired by Epic MyChart, so it will actually reference real platforms that are out there, and Apple Health app interfaces, known for their clean medication or medical information presented, and so it gives a style guide, and here it is. It's actually started to build it out for us. It's giving initially a visual of it, so we're gonna approve that plan. And it gives us, okay, here's the initial version that I'm going to start to build for you, is user registration and role-based access. So again, like the user versus the admin, patient profile creation and management, medication schedule with dosage, timing, and frequency, medical appointment and follow-up reminder setup, dashboard view for upcoming medications and appointments, basic notification system. So it's building a whole lot. And this actually can take a bit of time. And while it's building...
Ian, do you mind us zooming in on that part where it actually shows the description of what it's producing for us? It's coming up with the ideas of what needs to go in this app. That's what that is, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's like, here's what I've thought of for the initial version of this app and what it will start with. So again, like it's trying itself to not overcomplicate this first version. So how Replit works is it will give you that first MVP, and then from that you can add additional stuff, and it'll actually recommend improvements to the app. Of course, I can answer that now. So essentially, Replit is a web-based
Ian,
ID.
do you mind restating the question just so we hear it?
Yes, she asked about the deployment of the application. So Brian showed you yesterday or 2 days ago about he picked a URL or a web address domain and was able to attach that. And these platforms have that built-in capability to where you go purchase your domain from GoDaddy or Namecheap, and you can slap it on right here. You hit the big, I think it's a green button that says, oh, it's blue button up there in the top right, deploy, and it takes a little bit, but it will publish it to the web. Yeah. So it's built into the app, or into the platform itself, and that's one thing I love about Replit and these new platforms that are coming out. And last time I did this, it struggled a bit. Replit and all of these other platforms have gotten way, way better, even in 3 months. And I'm curious to see, the next time that I'm up here on stage doing something similar to this, like where will this technology be? So the rate at which you've heard everybody be like, it's so quick, I can't keep up. It doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, it doesn't necessarily matter which of these platforms you choose to go with, because one week one might be doing the best, the other week one might be doing the best, but they're all competing with each other and they're all like great platforms. So I don't think it necessarily matters with these app creation companies at this point. Who here has heard about like an API key? Okay. Do you guys know how to get an API key for like OpenAI? I figured that's something that everybody should really know, regardless if you develop or not. So I can show you how to do that real quick while I'm up here. Sure, okay. An API key essentially allows your application to create a connection with an outside service like OpenAI. So real quick, and I only have so much more time left up here. We'll see if we can get this done by the end of my slot here. But a OpenAI platform, dev, and it's this one. You'll create an account. You'll give your account some money, so you can put in like $5, $10, whatever, at the point you're making it. I'm gonna log into my account here. And not the right account. One sec. Let's see how this is doing. Okay, it's actually said that it's completed. It says, I've built a medical reminder platform for coordinating patient medication appointment management between doctors and family members. The app includes authentication system with Replit Auth, role-based access, doctors versus family members, dashboard with patient overview and statistics, patient management system, medication tracking and scheduling, and medical themed UI design. So here we'll open up it in a new page. And this is your app. I'm happy to share it with you after this so you can continue to build on it if you like. It's called Medcare Pro. And hey, yeah. So one, you got a beautiful page here. The sign-in may or may not work at this point. But let's say that it didn't. What you would do, oh, okay, it will. You never know with these things. Again, like you could come up to a roadblock, but that doesn't mean you can't get past it. So it created us an account. We're authenticated into it, and looks like add medication. We could potentially create a patient here, med name, and then be able to save it. And I would need to further test this to see how functional it actually is, but when you come across something that doesn't, how you would change that is to come here to the agent and be like, hey, I'm not able to add in different clients to the app or users. And that's how simple it is. You just tell it what's not working. If it gives you an error, you can paste that in here as well, and it will change things. So my time is really running out here. Getting back to my thing with Facebook is over the last couple of weeks, for some reason, I don't have a Facebook account anymore, and that's where I connected with a ton of you, and I connected with AI for Business, and I have a mission to get friends on Facebook again. I'm hoping you guys could help me out. I think it was an issue with a VPN that told it, don't let this person come back on. Yeah. So here on this QR code, you can connect with me, you can connect with my Facebook account and find my socials there. And I would love to connect with you for the remainder of our time here. And yeah, if you have any questions, please come and find me. And thank you again so much.
Give Ian a hand.